You don't ever think that that's going to happen.
There's so many of us out there.
We just didn't talk about it, and it was all about silence.
I get a call or a text, and it's someone I know.
It's like the world stopped. It is October, which is Infancy and Pregnancy Loss Awareness Month. We also share this month with breast cancer awareness. Breast cancer awareness gets talked about a lot, but the infancy and pregnancy loss does not. And one of the reasons it's so important to talk about is it affects 1 in 4 women. For comparison, breast cancer affects 1 in 8, which is also a very high statistic, but 1 in 4, that's a lot. That's 25% of women, therefore partners, kids, grandparents. Chances are you know somebody that's been affected by this.
It gives people a chance to acknowledge, remember, and it maybe starts conversations for people who don't feel comfortable having the conversations about pregnancy and infant loss. And so I love that there is a whole month, and specifically a day, October 15th every year, that people can work up the courage to talk about their babies if it's hard for them to do that in the other times.
I've heard so many stories of a young mother who speaks to a grandmother about a loss like this, and how grandmother finally breaks down and tells the story of her loss that no one had ever talked about all her life, and how hard it was. You have mixed emotions about this, but what you really conclude is, thank God people are talking about it.
And everybody grieves differently. I prefer the quiet internal monologue, but some people really respond well to community, to being around other people, sharing stories.
So although it is really difficult to talk about babies who have died, pregnancies that never made it earthside, it's really important because there's so many of us out there.
So it was difficult when we lost our babies. I've got to believe she had 7 or 8 miscarriages. That was a lot of loss. When your wife is pregnant, you're not uninvolved. She's miserable sometimes, other times she's so elated, and you're so much dreaming of the future.
This is not a one-time event. I had twins that died when I was 22 weeks pregnant. It's not just that one-time event. I have lost 2 entire lifetimes. First smiles, first steps, first day of kindergarten. I don't know if they would have been motorcycle racers, or they would have been into baseball, or maybe I would have gotten a tap dancer to follow in my footsteps, right? Or my tap steps.
For me, I'm lucky enough not to have ever experienced the loss of a child, but I am familiar with loss in general. My mother passed away from breast cancer when I was around 7 or 8 years old, kind of topical. I never saw that coming. You know, I knew she was sick. I knew she shaved her head, and I knew she was in the hospital a lot, but it had never occurred to me that she would die.
Such an interesting thing with an infancy or pregnancy loss. There's so many layers of guilt. You know, it's not a part of grief. You know, you have bargaining and the anger and the whatever all the 5 stages are. I felt guilty all the time, like my body betrayed me, or I should have done something better, or...
My husband and I lost our little girl unexpectedly in 2011. Ramsey only lived a couple of days. My dad actually stepped up and paid for the funeral, all of the costs associated with it, and that's what gave us the idea to say, hey, what if we could do this? What if we could pay for infant funerals? It's so isolating to lose a baby, and you feel like, I am the only one. I have no resources. What am I doing? Who can help? My name is Keller, and I am the founder of the Ramsey Keller Memorial. We started as a grassroots effort, and it was just me, a mom, trying to raise money and help as many people as we can. And thankfully, the community has rallied behind us. So the Ramsey Keller Memorial pays for infant funerals in the state of Montana up to the age of 1. We pay for up to $1,000 for a headstone. Most of the time when someone calls, they know we exist, but they don't know how we exist or what the requirements are or how it all works. We have no qualifications and no paperwork. If an infant in Montana passes away under the age of 1, the funeral homes just send us the bill. And so it's such a relief to be able to tell families, you don't have to do anything. We have a website and we have a really active Facebook page.
She has created an incredible network and an incredible community where you don't even have to say a word. You just walk into that environment and you feel supported and you feel loved.
I remember the first time we went to the Ramsey Keller walk, and again, I'd heard a lot and I'd been a part of a lot that you'd been a part of, and you would tell me stories and interactions you were having. And then I wandered into hundreds of people.
One of the coolest things about the Ramsey Keller Memorial Run for Heaven's Sake is you walk into this environment and it feels like a hug. I don't know how else to explain it. You just walk in and immediately I felt loved and supported, and I didn't even say a word, like the very first time I had done it. So our team grew from, I think the first year I had 3 people with me. Last year we had 35.
And that's a great thing about the Ramsey Keller community, is that there's so many people out there who have had similar experiences and similar loss. And there's this group of people who get it, who you can go to talk to and be with. And even if you don't even mention anything, you know that everyone there has had that same experience. And even if they haven't, they're there to support someone who has. And that feels really good to know that something like that is out there.
Awareness is so important so that every mom, every grieving mom who is walking through this doesn't have to do it alone. So there is the Rainbow group. That is the grief group that I was a part of. And typically somebody from that group reaches out. So again, if you are wanting to be a part of this group, then please reach out through here, and I can get you hooked up to them. That was really valuable for me within the first year or so. I was, I think, 4 months out, and I found this grief group and walked in and was just listening at first because I didn't know what to say and I wasn't sure. Took everything I had to even show up, and I'm listening to these ladies all talk, and I went, oh, thank God I'm not crazy, because they were talking about things that I was experiencing that I didn't know was normal.
And we just didn't talk about it. And it was all about silence. It was just, we needed to move on. We needed to toughen up. We had all those things that have been said. Sometimes you carry it all around in your own head. Sometimes you just keep carrying this heavy heart, feelings like you're going crazy, feelings like you're weak, all these things that can occur. When in fact you talk to someone else who's gone through it, sometimes people say, yeah, well, it doesn't matter if other people have experienced this. Ours is our own personal situation. That's true, but when you have people to talk to, it helps you.
A lot of times grieving families will have a symbol, an animal, a color, or something that kind of represents their baby. You don't have anything tangible to kind of touch and hold on to, and there's very few memories. For me, it was zebras, and that was because of my very first ultrasound that we went to. The joke was made, oh, watch, it's gonna be a zebra. From that point forward, they were the little zebras. Zebras became a way for me to represent them in a physical way that I didn't have. Felix is always represented by blue and Griffith is always represented by green. My recommendation, name your baby, even if you don't know the gender, something gender neutral or just whatever your gut tells you, because that baby will be with you forever. And I think it makes it a little more real, and you are able to have a conversation about that child and use a name versus saying my baby or it. So that would be my recommendation. I know that I get asked this question a lot, or it'll be a comment. Someone say, well, I didn't want to say their names because I didn't want to remind you, or I didn't want to make you sad. I love hearing my boys' names. It's very soothing. Even if I get a little teary-eyed, it's mostly because it surprises me and it feels so good that it leaks out my eyes. We love hearing their names. So don't ever worry about reminding us, because we don't forget, and we certainly don't get sad hearing their names, because it means so much to me to hear their names and know that other people are acknowledging them. The first couple of weeks, I had a constant rotation of people that were showing up at the house. I'm sure it was very well planned and timed, but I had a constant rotation of people that would just, I was never alone for the first few days, probably more than about 20 minutes, especially the moms. The moms were great. Here, I brought you lunch. I'm not hungry. Eat it anyway.
It mattered that I needed to not in any way get frustrated with what was going on, but instead, supportive.
And support comes in a lot of different ways. I think it can come in just being there, willing to listen. Pat was gracious enough to pay me for my entire time that I had to take off. Now I'm taking this time much sooner than I anticipated, much sooner than everybody anticipated, and I just didn't have to worry about how am I going to pay rent or how are we going to buy groceries or whatever. When I was ready, so I was actually thankful that he was willing to make that announcement so that I didn't have to have the conversation over and over and over again. In fact, if we get it out now, then by the time I come back, maybe, I won't have to rehash it over and over and over unless I wanted to.
Our biggest fundraiser is a run. It's called Run for Heaven's Sake, the Sunday after Mother's Day. And people can buy signs with their baby's names and whatever special message they want to be on the run route. I mean, there's over 1,000 people there. So it's just them seeing this community, that they're not alone. Ramsey's birthday, which is actually coming up November 23rd, for the month of November, we ask people to donate $23. And it adds up. People are so generous to us. We also have our pink license plate. And that's really fun because that's such a visible thing that I can see. And it's very reasonable. It's $50 to get our plate when you sign up for them. And then it's $30 every year when you renew. So it's not, a gargantuous amount of money to help support us, but it pays out a lot.
If you can donate. If you can't, volunteer. If you can't volunteer, then spread the awareness. In fact, I think that the spreading of the awareness and the volunteering are probably as much or even more important than donating monetarily.